Hi, welcome to this video, which is a study with me, but kind of like a productive day of doing uni work kind of video. I don't know, so far there hasn't been like any studying, so it's off to a great start. I thought that I would like quickly update in this part of the video because the last video I uploaded was my last exam video, so I thought I would upload this video after the videos I uploaded so that I could like say if I passed my retake and all of that stuff. Yes, I did pass my methodology retake. I feel like I didn't have a lot of time to process that, so like I was like, oh, I passed, and then the next day was a new semester, so that was kind of weird. I'm going to use that as a reminder for myself when I'm doubting myself this semester that I've survived 3 already and things go wrong, but like it still ends up being okay, so I'm gonna use that as a reminder for myself. But anyway, I started the new semester, which I'm not liking the look of so far, just because some classes I don't like. We have stats this semester. I know that's going to be hard and it's not going to be fun to deal with, but now it's a Monday and I really need to get on with some work, otherwise my to-do list, which is quite small at the moment, it's going to be quite long if I don't get on with some work. It's currently 11:08. I've done half an hour of reading already. I wanted to have a productive day, that's why I'm filming this video, because I really need to just like do pieces of work that I've left, and hopefully it'll be a productive day today and I can talk a little bit more about the work I'm doing. What I wanted to say is that I'm just doing this reading and it's really interesting because individual differences and cultural differences really interest me, and then I need to add notes from a methodology textbook to my lecture notes, which again I need to check if this textbook is in a library or if I can just use the textbook which I have on my laptop already. Add my stats notes to Quizlet, I didn't have that class, and then the readings which I'm doing now, and then add that to Quizlet, but I'm gonna leave that until I have the class because then we'll talk in more detail and like I'll know like what I need to remember and what I don't. And then I have a history of psychology lecture, which the form of passing is quite nice. Basically, if you fail the test but if you still turn up to every single lecture, you can pass. So it may be boring, but I'm gonna have to sit through it. But the professor sends us the notes through this mind map thing, so I'm gonna have to figure them out and try and get them onto my laptop. That's kind of my day plan, to do this reading so I'm ahead, and then Quizlet and figure out my textbooks and try and get some extra notes into the current notes that I have. I also need to organize my folder because I made these wonderful looking notes for stats, and I realized that this is what I'm going to do for stats because like maybe it'll motivate me to study, and if it's all nice looking and organized then maybe it will stick in my head a little bit more. So I'm still doing my reading and it's 2 o'clock. I took quite a bit of a break just because to give my mind a break from reading. I was just filming this, but then I got a phone call about my English tutoring, which was meant to be at 4 but now it's going to be at 3, so that's even better because then I'll be home at like when it's still light outside, so I can still do some work when I get home. I don't know how much I'll get done, like I don't need to get a lot done, but so I'd prefer to get it all done today so that tomorrow I can just do other tasks. What I did want to show this interesting thing that I just read. So it's called I don't know if that's the name, but it's this hypothesis. It's the linguistic relativism hypothesis, which says that people who speak different languages think differently because of the differences in the nature, structure and function of the languages they use, which I've noticed kind of myself, that like I feel like a different person in the 2 languages, which is what I wanted to say at the beginning of this video when I was doing this reading. But I kind of feel like a different person in each language. Like maybe it's to do with just because I moved. So like I lived in England and I spoke English and like that was who I felt like, but now that I'm here and like everything changed, so I feel like a different person almost, to do with the language as well. I feel like I'm a different person when I speak English, and I feel like a different person when I speak Polish. That may be also to do because I feel more confident with English, and Polish I don't feel as confident and I make more mistakes, so maybe that's to do with that. But reading this kind of made me feel like, oh, that's a thing, which really interests me, so I might do some more reading on that. Then there was, where is it? Then there was this, and I was like, oh, okay. And it's bilinguals, so they can think, feel and act in different ways depending on the language they use at the moment. Again, I read that and I was like, okay, this is a thing as well. Like, I'm not the only one. I feel like I don't think differently, although I think in English all the time anyway. But I feel different when I speak English and then when I speak Polish. I don't know about the act thing, maybe too, because I feel more confident in English. So this is so interesting and I want to learn more about this. And I guess the thinking part is more to do with the country, the language you're learning, like the rules, and like that just makes me think of living in a different country and not the actual language itself. But I guess if you're learning about language, you might learn about the country as well. But anyway, now I'm just talking about things that are not to do with my study day, but I just wanted to share some really interesting knowledge, and maybe I'll make a video about this sometime, I don't know, like the psychology of being bilingual. So if anyone would want to see such a video, please let me know. So I'm gonna continue with my reading. I realistically have like 45 minutes, okay, or less than that. I'm gonna spend half an hour reading. That is currently the time. I got home like an hour ago. I need to do some non-uni related things, so I'm going to dedicate half an hour to that now, and then after I've done half an hour of what I need to do now, I'm going to return to my reading and highlight it, because I copied and pasted all of this, so I need to make it look like this, make it look like that. So that is the plan for this next hour.